Hello, twin flames. This is Victoria, and I'm here with your daily energy check. This is gonna be a classic read. I've got all my decks ready, and let's go. Let's write it out. I miss you guys. I hope you are excited about this reading just as I am. I'm really glad to be here again. I almost wanted to say see you, but I can't really see you. So, yeah, I know some of you. So yes, I kind of picture you out there somewhere. And then for the rest of you, yeah, I'm just excited for your energetic presence here with us today. Because of course you are there. Time is a construct in our brain. So we kind of all coexist here. And even if you're watching a year after I recorded this message, you're still at the moment part of this energetic collective that I'm doing the reading for. And yes, I'm started with the Spirit Junkie Oracle deck by Gabby Bernstein. So let's get a card, an affirmation card, a support card for Divine Feminine first, and then for Divine Masculines. And then we'll move on to the tarot itself. Wow, when I lead from a place of love, people respect me. Yeah, this is actually a pretty cool card, especially if you have a job where you are in a leadership position or in a teacher position, right? Because both of those represent some sort of seniority, right? Where you are sharing or you are giving tasks and instructions, right? But of course there is a difference, and it's like a classic saying, the difference between managers and leaders, right? But technically, a leader by nature could still play a managerial role in the 3D life, right? Have that position in society. So the most important part here is leading with love. And when you do that, even if it's something that normally would be unpopular with people, it will be accepted. They will hear your message. They will hear the value, the good intention, the compassion, and the love that you have for when you are actually making those decisions and when you are directing a person, a business, a relationship in a certain way. Ooh. For masculines, we've got I bring peace with me wherever I go. Wow, this is pretty cool. And I love this image because it's kind of both of these are night, but this actually looks like a sun. It's pretty amazing. But yeah, I also like the red pyramid because it kind of highlights pyramid with its like strong base, right? I got a pyramid over here, right? Super stable. And also, of course, this kind of triangle is talking about, it's more of a phallic symbol, talking about the masculine foundation, and it's kind of red, which is talking about the root chakra, of course, feeling secure and safe, right? This is our basic need, really, right? A lot of people, especially in spiritual community, don't like to talk about that level, but really that's the foundation that you can't really build without, right? And we see that in all kinds of sciences and studies across that, you need to cover those basic needs to build that foundation in order to move up the ladder and be able to talk about something more of a moral value, something spiritual, something otherworldly, right? When these needs are met. And even for light workers, it still stands. We're living our life on planet Earth in a very much 3D thick space in our meat suit. So covering these needs is basic for us. Otherwise, we almost like don't get access to those higher energies and higher vibrations and those topics, those kind of thoughts, those energetic vibrations. Okay, I'm gonna go with the tarot now. I will use the After Tarot as a main deck today, and I'm gonna do the classic read. So this is gonna be feminine energy, masculine, and the connection at this time. And I'll post some clarifiers. Wow, this is amazing. The Queen of Pentacles. And this is the part that this is the After Tarot, and she's like, she can actually see her reflection in it. And it's like, it's near and dear. It's not just a coin. It's very personalized. It's like a limited edition coin, you know, that has taken her a lot of effort to get. Or maybe it took her months to wait for it to get done, right? But it's precious, and it represents something bigger than the value of this pentacle, right? I also like the kind of more of a nature vibe here. And I think it's very like, it's yeah, to me it's an important part, let's put it that way, of Queen of Pentacles, because it's an earth element, right? And for earth signs, for earth element, the connection with nature is very important. It's, again, it's almost like speaking about the foundations, right? It's almost like it's gonna be hard to achieve something you know, in 3D, in terms of money, abundance, gaining resources, if you don't have that flow of energy and that natural connection with things alive around you. And of course, for different people, it can be different things, different living things, and in a different way. What do we have for masculines? I might not need the clarifiers today, I don't know. And yes, I'm going back to shorter readings unless I have a specific purpose, a specific spread that I want to use, and it's just taking me into a longer read. Sometimes that happens and I have to go with it because I have the messages to share. Page of Cups, apologetic nature. Yeah, the fish escapes in this after tarot scenario. Remember, in the original tarot, the fish is still in the cup. And here we can see the fish, oh, it's gone. So that piece of, and the fish, of course, represents emotions, feelings in this suite. We can see, and the kind of unhappy page here, that we think that certain things, like our feelings of love, of which again then translates of joy, content, appreciation, compassion, we take those for granted oftentimes, right? And I'm not saying that we necessarily hurt the person on purpose, but sometimes we just really don't appreciate them enough, don't notice them enough, right? Because that's part of it, to notice them, to admit it, to observe it, right? And that's what we see with divine masculines. This is the part where they realize that they've been neglecting their relationship with someone special. It can be divine feminine, it can be somebody else in their life, but the important part is where they are being apologetic and they want to recreate the balance, and to kind of like, I mean, this is the page is like this fresh energy, right? This is the new beginning sort of idea. So they want to be able to have a fresh cycle, right? They value this relationship, the feelings that they have for that certain someone. Doesn't have to be a romantic relationship, it can be somebody else. But like I said, the important part is realization that they tend to do that, take it for granted, that they don't always recognize and acknowledge it in the right way. They don't always express their feedback, positive feedback to that, and they want to correct that. That's the biggest outcome here. That's the headline. What do we have for the connection energy? Ooh, the High Priestess and the Devil. Wow, bottom of the deck we have 10 of Pentacles. So both, I would say, just the energetically, the twins have been prepared for that level of abundance, where for that level of success, where they feel like they've got it, right? Where they feel like they can relax in terms of trying to find a better future, to build something, to find money, to make useful connections, right? Like that sort of hustle that we have until we reach a certain level of resources where we are happy, we feel, again, secure, right? So, and you know, in this case where feminines can lead with love without thinking too much about the material side of it, the outcome, and how much they rely on it. and the masculines can, well, also bring peace, right? And not have to to achieve for the sake of achievement, right? But more about, I'm creating this source of, well, source of income could be, or like these resources, so that I can be more useful to the world, I can share with others, I can provide for my family, my loved ones, right? Like from like that goodness part, right? From the peaceful part is like, I am capable and I want to make it happen, right? This is one of the ways that I'm not just providing for myself or I want some titles and recognition, right? But this is the resource that I will use to be able to do more for other people. So for the connection, we have the High Priestess and the Devil. Very interesting combination. So I would say the way that I see the combination of these cards is that this is like not necessarily using the meditation part, the solitude part in a healthy way, right? So this is where it can go wrong. So it's important, I mean, both in terms of like neglecting certain basic needs, what we've been talking about today. I guess that's the main theme of today's reading, but also in, how do I put it, in encouraging more of unhealthy patterns and unhealthy behavior, right? Justifying them or feeling sorry for yourself, right? There's nothing wrong with it while you're like, as long as you're kind of, those feelings are flowing through you, and you're transmuting them and releasing them, right? They do not linger with you, they do not stay for a long time, and you do not base your activity, your actions on those feelings, right? Like you realize, you can step back, zoom out, and realize that, yeah, as a person, I have these feelings, it's normal, but I'm not gonna fall kind of victim to them. I'm not gonna let them control me in my life, right? Yes, I'm gonna live through it, I'm gonna understand why I have those and what are my next steps. But it's supposed to be coming out of place of the spiritual channel and connection, not just out of place of, you know, sometimes, again, I feel it lead without love, right? We sometimes get or teach, right? Or we get into that soapbox where we think that we can judge people or situations and we know better, right? And it just all goes downhill from there in terms of your own energy, in terms of the karma that you're creating with other people involved in this situation. And it might even be worse if it's just you and a negative self-talk to yourself, because you're creating that negative karma for yourself. And guess what? It's not going anywhere, right? You still need to work it off, to clear it off. And it might take a while, depending on what you do, say exactly, right? Because you are a very powerful being as a light worker. And this, by the way, since this is for the connection, goes for both twins. For some, it will be about each other. It will be about this connection, right? Having some negative thoughts, getting desperate, right? Those sort of ideas, right? Is my partner acting fairly to me? Like, why do they do that? Why do they say it? Do they not understand? Those kind of talks as well, right? And going like further towards like physical, towards like actual arguments, you know, in 3D space, and fights and like those kind of things. So just be mindful and careful of this energy. I'm not saying that it's gonna happen for everyone, but there is a very high chance of that. And I would say, yeah, let's actually pull some advice for this specific space, because this goes for both twins. Yeah, let's pull some cards of advice. What should the twins do during this time with these energies? And of course, we have the Sun, we have Seven of Wands, and we have Chariot. And by the way, those are both sevens. Seven and seven. Yeah, major and minor. So keep your own, stay in your joy as much as possible, whatever gives you joy. And it's okay, again, like when we talk about facing those fears and pain and insecurities, whatever brings up those feelings, it doesn't mean that you have to do it immediately. And I mean, yes, the more you progress in your journey, the easier it's going to be, the faster that cycle is going to be. But it doesn't have to be right away, right? Take time for yourself to heal. Take time for yourself to find that joy and to stay high vibe. That's the way it's going to be easier to deal with it, or at least to give yourself power to step out of that emotional space, of that low vibe emotional space where you can actually do something about it, right? Because while you're in the whirlwind of the emotions, of the negative emotions, it's very hard to do the right thing, so to speak, right? And to be super spiritual and conscious about it, right? So first, come back to self, get grounded, stay in your love space, in your peace space, and then move forward towards something brighter, towards something more positive, right? Do something for your progress. And again, sometimes that phrase puts a lot of pressure on people, so I'm just gonna say this doesn't necessarily mean doing something big. The steps could be small, but they should be conscious steps towards your goals, towards something you're passionate about, towards that goodness. And even if it's 0.5% of whatever that journey is, 1%, it's gonna be important, it's gonna make you feel good, and it's gonna help you immediately get into a healthier space. Okay, let's get messages from divine masculines to divine feminines. And I'm not gonna do too much interpretation today, so I'll leave it to you guys. We have I know you from somewhere and sex. Both of them are sixes, by the way. So although sex is actually the devil energy, but in this case, it's a natural pull for the masculine. So it's kind of reminding them how attracted they are to you. This is their healthy physical drive, and we talked about it a little bit at the beginning. And since both of this, and this of course is more about spiritual connection, so they recognize that they want both, right? It's not like usually they are attracted to the physical appearance of their feminine and feminine figure, right? Like a karmic feminine, and that's the main drive, and the rest kind of takes backstage, right? Here they have both, and they realize they want both. They don't want to agree to anything less than that. And that should be the foundation, right? Both of these are sixes. That should be the baseline. It's not like you have to compromise, because before they met you, they were really confident that you have to choose, right? It's either your friend and someone who you are in line, in terms of thinking what you want in life, or it's somebody who they're going to be attracted to physically and who other people will appreciate and probably even be jealous about. Messages from divine feminines to masculines. Okay, I'm gonna take this. If I ask you to stay, would you leave? One want, and I'm in so much pain. I saw that for masculines for a while, and now it looks like the feminine is questioning the intentions of divine masculine, right? One want is of course the physical pull that they feel, so this is like a mirroring effect of that sex. This is a little bit more of a 5D physical pull, more around Kundalini energy, that sort of idea, rather than what the masculines. But again, for the feminines, they lead the way in the 5D development, relationship, all that stuff. So it's not a surprise. Then they question the intentions, of course, that the masculines have, where they are right now, like just literally wondering where masculines right now, what do they think about our connection, and what are their next steps going to be, right? And also acknowledging that there is an ending of a painful cycle that still needs some love and self-love and some healing, right? So they are ready to give themselves love, right? Like she's acknowledging herself in that coin to be able to move on from that place of space, or from space of pain, in a healthy way, so that they can grow from it and they don't have to repeat the same cycle, whatever it was. Okay, I hope this has been good for you guys. Thank you so much for being with me today. I love you all, and I'll be back with more readings very, very soon. Bye, everyone.